Everyone? Okay, I can see everything. So, great to be here. It's so great to see so many people coming to the blockchain events in Shanghai, and so great to be in Shanghai. So we'll talk today about privacy on Ethereum, about the state of privacy on Ethereum, probably with a bit more of the institutional twist. And I think there is much more being told also from Vitalik and others on the topic. All right, so let me just check whether the clicker works. It does. So why are we talking about the privacy on Ethereum nowadays much more? Also in the context of talking to institutions. So this year I had countless conversations with institutions around the world, and following the changes in the regulatory environment in the United States, many institutions start to adopt the real-world assets, tokenization, and stable coins. And they look at the chains and wonder about how to implement that by also providing solutions for their customers to ensure the privacy of their trades when they participate in the competitive market. So institutions are asking Ethereum Foundation what are the privacy standards that they can apply when they use the EVM technology, when they use the Ethereum chains, when they build their layer 2 solutions, and so on. At the same time, the same questions are coming from regulators around the world. Those are questions from regulators in Hong Kong, from regulators in US, in Switzerland, and so on. They're asking how we can ensure that customers of the banks, of the institutions, of the enterprise solutions can ensure that all their handlings on blockchain are on one side transparent for the regulators, and on the other side ensuring the privacy for the customers, so protecting the customers. So here regulator is asking about the two or three aspects. Making sure that there is compliance, like KYC, AML processes, but also that there is protection for the privacy of the enterprise customers. So regulators cares about both sides of this equation. And on top of it, we have also the progressing improvements in the zero knowledge technology, in ZK, and in the efficiency of the algorithms and hardware used for zero knowledge. And because of that, we talk more and more about the client-side proving. So the ability for the customers to use their own devices to generate zero-knowledge proofs to execute selective disclosures. So all of that together creates a pretty good environment for talking about the privacy in the institutional sense as something that is viable, that can be implemented on chains at the reasonable cost, with the reasonable latencies, with the technology that satisfies requirements from the regulators, and that delivers ability for launching the digital asset solutions for the institutions. And at the Ethereum Foundation, we have a team called Privacy Stewards for Ethereum, PSE. And that team has a website, pse.dev. They also post a lot of research materials on ifresearch.ch. This is the research forum of various Ethereum concerns. So the research on ifresearch is not only about privacy, but also consensus, also about any aspects of the security of the network. And then also ethereum-magicians.org contains all the discussions related to standards and EIP, the protocol changes on Ethereum networks. So the Ethereum Foundation itself focuses on public chains, but all of those aspects, the technologies that we're talking about, can be applied also to solutions that borrow EVM technology, layer 2 solutions, private chains, that very often will be more in line with the policies and regulations here in Shanghai. Recently at the Ethereum Foundation, we welcomed new leaders to the privacy team. So Igor Barinov joined the team and will be leading all the privacy efforts. And Andy Guzman took over the PSC underneath. So within the privacy, we also talk about the SDKs and toolings for transaction signing and various other aspects of collaboration with the privacy protocols in the Ethereum ecosystem. These are some of the projects, research ideas that PSC is working on. So client-side proving, previously mentioned. So edge devices proof generations that allow the customers to generate statements and selective disclosures about the data. So I can have some banking data, any type of data of interactions with one blockchain, and I can generate the proofs on my device when interacting with some other institutions, either on-chain or off-chain. And those proofs can be selective in a way that if I have a set of data, I can select any aspects of the data and choose what I want to share. The plasma fold is all about the performance improvements to the zero-knowledge technology that then also progresses the privacy solutions. Post-quantum security. Again, the aspects of how to make sure that all the signatures and the privacy ensuring cryptographical solutions are safe for any users of the chain in the case of quantum, like progress in the quantum technology, quantum computing. And Machina IO, this is a set of solutions for the indistinguishability obfuscation, means that you can deploy smart contracts on chains that contain some aspects of the accounts management, and those programs can be secured so the code confidentiality can be maintained. So you have applications and institutions deploying code on chains with the I/O, which is very, very far away, it seems, might be a few years. This is a very early stage of cryptographical research on the topic. But with this, you may allow applications to be deployed by institutions where the code is secured by cryptography. So you can deploy the code that is not visible. So closed source on-chain practically. Some examples of the applications and toolings that the PSC team is building. MoPro is a set of tools for the client-side proofs generations. So it's designed to help developers to integrate various tools into their solutions. Noir Lang. So we have initiative to support this is programming language called Noir, and it's designed to have this zero-knowledge programming at the core. It's very neat and very liked by many developers who build the privacy features into the applications. And Noir project acceleration is the effort between Ethereum Foundation and many other operators to improve the tooling and security of the Noir programming language ecosystem. So because it's a ZK-focused programming language, it's very, very different from Solidity, but it has those features that help to deal with ZK. TLS Notary, those solutions allow to interact with like the TLS protocol, so the secure exchange with any institutions or blockchains, and they allow to generate the proofs and statements about the aspects of the interaction. So I can connect, for example, to my Web2 application, bank account, and then confirm some statements about that interaction and verify it in another application without disclosing much more data. So here, institutions may, for example, extract aspects of some interaction and use it for insurance somewhere else, or just guarantee some operations that happened in another communication, TLS between the institution and the provider of service. Some other aspect, this is the library that's built, it's not really standalone library, but a set of solutions that are for the multi-party computation that is built by the PSE team, also to be used by the previously seen TLS Notary. So PSE team generally is 50 people that work on various proof of concepts, templates, research materials. So it's especially great team to collaborate with on any solutions related to institutional privacy. ZK-Kit is a set of toolings in JavaScript, TypeScript that allow developers to integrate existing ZK technology. Co-snarks, example of the tooling that can be used for institutional solutions I'll show in a moment. Maybe this one is more important. Institutional Privacy Task Force is a group underneath the privacy team, PSC team at the Ethereum Foundation, and it was established specifically to address questions about standardization of privacy for institutions, which means that when we talk about privacy for institutions, we do talk about privacy with the compliance built in. So it's a privacy between the institutions, but with the viewing keys very often for the compliance purposes. And IPTF is already collaborating with multiple institutions around the world, asking them questions about what types of standards, use cases, real-world solutions they need to handle, what type of answers to deliver, on how to compose the cryptographical primitives of Ethereum to address those challenges of the institutions. And there is a repository called IPTF Map. It shows the mapping between the real-world use cases and the existing solutions and cryptographical primitives on Ethereum. So if you go to this website, you can go and check the list of technical patterns that can be used to provide privacy solutions, the real-world use cases that the institutions are facing and trying to deploy on blockchains, all the different regulatory frameworks, and what type of requirements they set for institutions. So this is particularly interesting if you're planning to deploy blockchain solutions that would be deployed in different jurisdictions and respect the different regulatory frameworks requirements. And then vendor evaluations. So we want to also to provide the list of different operators within the Ethereum ecosystem that can deliver privacy solutions and how mature the solutions are. Are they at the proof of concept stage? Are they already productionized? Do they have the successful deployments in the past, and so on? Here is an example from that website, from that repository of one of the solutions, and it explains step by step when do you use selective disclosure, what it means, what's the goal, the idea behind it, how the protocol executes, and there are some other considerations. So what are the limitations, what's the maturity state, and so on. So if you go to the website, you will see probably like 30 different patterns. It's an open source repository that will welcome contributions from institutions, from developers, that over time, we just established it a few weeks ago. So over time, we see it as a repository, like an encyclopedia of the privacy solutions and a support for developers to pick the right concepts. Also for the businesses, we want to make it very much explanatory for the business managers to understand the technology underneath with the simple language. The other effort from the Ethereum Foundation is the set of SDKs for all the privacy enhancing features for account management, for the signing by the institutions. It deals with the aspects that I mentioned before. So the post-quantum security, I think with the recent announcements, we more and more think about how much we have to rush post-quantum security. The Ethereum roadmap really talks about the next 5 years with reasonably good solutions coming in within 2-3 years of the research roadmap. This is under Lean Ethereum roadmap, leanroadmap.com or leanroadmap.org. Talks about the research of Ethereum towards the post-quantum security. We talk also about the RPC with TEs and the oblivious RAM solutions. So this is delivery of the request for data reads from blockchain with ability to ensure that the operator of the indexer cannot read our interactions with the blockchain. So if you imagine the institutions that execute trades and want to delegate the indexing, the RPC operation to another operator, they can use this RPC within the trusted hardware, within the oblivious RAM, to make sure that the intentions of execution is never disclosed to other participants of the market. MPC solutions, so multi-party computation solutions for the wallets. The social recovery features, so supporting the security and privacy of the key management systems to ensure that the wallets are more secure. So the Kohaku is really SDK that can be used for both security, interoperability between different chains, and privacy. Also within Kohaku comes the solutions for the light clients that is embedded within the local environment. And the Oblivious RAM, you can read a bit more at the obliviousLabs.com. It's one of the most advanced provider of the technology. Thank you so much. This is how you can reach out to me. I would welcome any feedback or conversations or questions about the privacy roadmap for Ethereum. In the future, my WeChat is the same as all the other handles, so I forgot to include it, but it's exactly the same as Telegram and Twitter. Thank you so much.